Most people don't fail because they are lazy. They fail because they talk about success until their hunger to win dies. Every time you announce your dream, your brain feels a fake victory. Proud before you suffer, special before you struggle. This is the quiet way dreams die, before they ever get the chance to live. In a small, quiet village near green fields and dusty roads, there lived a young girl named Ayla, who had a bright mind and a restless heart. And every few days she had a new dream that filled her chest with excitement. One week she wanted to open a small shop and sell beautiful things. The next week she wanted to learn pottery. Another week she wanted to build something big with her own hands. But before she ever started anything, she told everyone about it. She walked through the village market, smiling and speaking loudly about how one day she would become someone great. And people smiled at her. Some clapped. Some encouraged her. And every time they praised her words, Ayla felt warm inside. She felt special and important. And that feeling made her sleep peacefully at night. But when the morning came, and it was time to take the first step, her body felt heavy. Her heart felt tired. And the fire she felt the day before was gone. So days passed, and the shop was never opened. The pottery tools were never touched. And soon a new dream came again. And the same cycle repeated. New dreams, loud words, warm praise, and no action. Until one evening, Ayla sat alone near an old well, staring at her reflection in the dark water, feeling a quiet sadness grow inside her chest, wondering why she always stopped before she began. And as she sat there, an old man from the village, known for his calm and simple wisdom, walked slowly toward her, and asked why her eyes looked so heavy. And Ayla told him the truth, that she had many dreams, but never finished anything. That she felt strong at first, and then empty. And the old man listened without judging, and asked her what she did when a new idea came to her. And she said she told everyone because she wanted them to be proud of her. And the old man smiled with a gentle sadness, and asked her to meet him the next morning in his small garden. And when she came, he gave her 2 small seeds, asking her to plant one in the soil, while he held the other high in the air, and called the children to look at it, telling them how one day this seed would become a big and beautiful tree. And the children clapped and smiled, while the planted seed was quietly covered with earth and forgotten. And in the days that followed, the old man watered the buried seed in silence, while the seed left on the rock dried under the sun and was pecked by birds. Until weeks later, a small green plant rose from the soil. While the other seed was gone, the old man stood beside her and spoke in a calm, gentle voice. Ayla, a seed needs quiet to grow. It needs to stay hidden in the dark soil. When you leave it in the open and keep talking about it, it dries in the sun. It gets taken by birds. It never becomes a tree. Ayla looked at the small green plant. Something moved inside her chest. It felt like a truth she had been avoiding. The elder continued softly. When you share your dreams too soon, your heart feels proud. Before the work is done, people's praise gives you a sweet feeling. Your mind starts to believe. The goal is already reached, so the fire inside you becomes weak. The energy meant for action is spent on words. Ayla felt her face grow warm with shame. She saw her own habits clearly now. Every time she spoke loudly about a new plan, she felt successful for a moment. But her hands never moved. She talked about the future, but she never built it. And that night, she walked home slowly and decided to try something different, choosing one simple dream and keeping it quiet. And because she loved colors, she began to learn painting in a small corner of her room with old paper and cheap brushes, sitting alone every evening after her chores. Sometimes excited, sometimes tired, sometimes feeling her work was ugly, but no one praised her, and no one watched her. And in that silence, her hands slowly learned, her eyes learned to see beauty, and her mind learned patience. Until one day, she finished a small painting of the village street and felt a deep and honest pride. Not from words, but from effort. And when a neighbor noticed her work and praised it, Ayla only smiled softly, because she was already working on the next piece. And over the years, her art grew stronger. People from nearby towns began asking for her designs, and her work started speaking for her, without her needing to announce anything. And one evening, she returned to the old well and smiled at her reflection, finally understanding that dreams grow best in silence, that words are light but work is heavy, and heavy things grow roots. And before you close this story and move on with your day, take a quiet moment and look inside yourself. Because Ayla's journey is not just a story about a girl in a village. It is a mirror held up to your own life. And if you are honest, you will see pieces of yourself in her. The excitement you feel when a new idea comes to your mind, the rush of telling people about your plans, the comfort you get when others praise your dreams even though nothing has changed yet, and the slow sadness that comes later when weeks and months pass, and the dream stays only as words. This story is here to remind you that real change is not loud, real growth does not need an audience, and real progress is often boring, slow, and invisible at first. The days when you work and nobody notices, the nights when you improve just a little, the moments when you want to quit but still take one small step forward. These are the moments that decide your future, not the speeches you give about what you will become. And maybe you feel right now that you have wasted time, that you talked too much and built too little. But this story is also here to tell you that it is not too late to change your pattern. You do not need to announce a comeback. You do not need to explain yourself to anyone. You only need to begin again in silence. Protect your dream like a seed in the soil. Water it with small actions every day. And let time and effort do their quiet work. And one day, without noise, without shouting, without needing to prove anything, people will see the tree you grew. And the most beautiful part is that by then, you will no longer need their praise, because you will finally be proud of yourself.